the game and just not cast it. I mean, what are they going to do, John? Like, I'm not saying Cloud will lose this game with this draft, but what exactly are they going to do with this draft? Like, these 3 cores, it doesn't feel like there's any space creator.
Yeah, it's certainly more down to just Starif and Mercy to try to make something happen with this draft. And that's going to be a little bit easier said than done with your cores being what they are. To be fair, you know what? This takes me back to the old hoo-hoo ha-ha draft where it was literally Troll Sniper. So maybe Cloud are just throwing it back several years ago? What's that, 6.82? 6.83? One of those patches?
You don't need to remember that patch, Sean. It's not important.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they get the Void Spirit in the end, right? LBZS has to jump in to deal with the Sniper, along with the Marcy, along with the Clockwork. They have all this space closers to ensure Butterfly Effect is just not going to have the position he wants. And I know, like, we saw the tips coming out for CSJ earlier again, right? Like, and they're still tipping back. So there's still something up, but this draft, it's a lot harder for Cloud. If they do squash their lanes, they get some early power spikes, and they can play around that, but it's still like a tricore that needs a lot of farm to really feel good here, so easier said than done.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, look at the lanes. I mean, currently looking at mid lane, or we're looking at all 3 lanes, but mid lane, Dolphin and Butterfly Effect against each other. So you chose the Sniper against the, well, rather the Void was last picked into the Sniper. Doesn't seem like Dolphin's going to be able to really die here in this lane, though he might find this lane a little bit annoying as time goes on. Void Spirit, though, a pretty nice pick into a hero like Sniper, though, right? Like, you could just jump the back lines, get a nice Aether Remnant off, and just try to delete the hero. And you can already see Butterfly Effect, it's not exactly the freest lane in the world either.
No, it's certainly not. Like, you have durability here for Dolphin with a Resonant Pulse to block off a lot of that Fizz damage coming through from the harassment. And for Butterfly Effect, I mean, you have that early gap closing from Dolphin, early control with a Remnant. You can twack some hits. Sniper's not the tankiest in this lane. He is going for the double Wraith Band, though. And normally, once you hit level 2, level 3, level 4 with double or triple Wraith Band, you feel pretty alright in the Sniper. You're a lot harder to burst down as well. So you can try to play around that, maybe tie in some aggression from your sports. You really, really want to ensure that your Sniper doesn't get Raffle Stomp. So eyes out on Mercy and on Starif to kind of try to ensure that the Sniper has some play if he does get jumped in.
Yeah. What about those side lanes right now? Like top lane perhaps, Gore and Fonte. In fact, hold that thought, because mid lane Butterfly Effect's going to find himself in danger. But Dolphin, of course, not going to go for the dive past the tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, bottom lane, TZY might be first blooded here. Starif trying for the chase, can't get the damage out. The Fade Bolt from Helios proving to be enough to allow him to just walk away as... Well, this Snapfire must have hit him 3 times while he was like 1 click away and just, he wouldn't die.
Yeah, it's one of those things. When you do get Fade Vaulted up, and your durability does shoot up by quite a huge margin. It's still not the easiest time for TZY there. Troll can punish well, and a nice cookie from Starif.
Yeah, Helios should go down. Does stick charge up, walking away for now. TZY disposing the Troll. In fact, they're going to jump back in with the rebound, but it doesn't seem like they're going to have quite enough. I suppose, though, for LBZS, you're kind of happy that you still haven't given First Blood away, considering both TZY and Helios were basically one click away from dying. Both of them survived, both of them can continue in the spot lane.
Yeah, they're playing on the bleeding edge, though. Again, the turn potential coming out from Cloud is pretty big, especially now that you've actually got the Fervor up on Ice Limit, so you can get aggressive there up top.
Yeah, Cogs is going to save the day. CSJ just needed one more hit with the poison attack. He's going to try now, but the raise comes in, and Gore, he's going to be the one to secure the kill on the Clockwork, and that's First Blood to go the way of LBZS.
Yeah, it's a nice big take, a little bit of a reset coming out for CSJ. There is some good aggression that can come out the Viper, right? It's still a Viper lane. You've got tag team on Mercy. If you can trap them up with the shards, running down with poison attack is relatively a quick process.
Helios.
And it's not like Gogo
he's going to be survived here by TZY. TZY, he gets the kill before he dies. Still, it seems like Ice Limit might just clean up. It's Helios, he's going to go for a run. You do have those wild axes to slow him down. Eventually, he will connect them, and Helios, he will be the double kill here for Ice Limit.
some big takes coming out for Cloud down bot. The strong start for Ice Limit. That doesn't really do much besides allowing the Troll to farm earlier. You could join in for some early pushes, as we've seen some heroes do. Like Troll could potentially build Maelstrom, stop at the Javelin, and show up for a bit of a shove-in on lane. It's not something that Troll normally does, but it's not something that it would be too strange for him to do either. I think the one lane that's kind of turned around for the side of Cloud right now, though, is that mid for Butterfly Effect. He's having a much better time now. He is at that double rate band, going into the third one at level 5. So the kill threat from Dolphin, it's not going to be there until he gets the step up, which isn't too far off, but this is without the support rotations coming in.
Top lane, looks like they might have the clock, and they do. Mercy with a nice lockdown there with the charge, just blocking the tree line. Is going to be able to secure the kill there with CSJ. His bottom lane, gonna jump in, Starif getting lifted up, but we'll move right back in onto the Marcy, and TZY has no rebound available, but we'll just kind of walk away from this. The slow, it just doesn't last the longest here with the Troll Warlord, especially at level 1, and yeah, TZY, he's still just okay to walk.
Yeah. Still allowed to escape, but you're not really stopping Ice Limit's farm. He is still farming fairly well in this lane. You're not getting as much as you'd want on TZY. You're not slowing it as much as well, considering the Fonte's lane isn't going too well. You'd really like to equalize that in some way, but not able to do so. Maybe once they get this level 6 in Dolphin, we can see some aggression come out from the Void Spirit to jump around the lanes, or maybe that's the moment LBZS starts to connect some support rotations on mid to play with a step. They haven't punished Butterfly Effect while he was weak. Again, at this point with triple rate bands up, he's a lot more durable. 9 armor with the Tower Aura, 0-3 tree with a headshot, and the range, it's just so hard.
Mid, or rather bot lane, Starif does go down. Mid lane, Mercy's rotated over. So you'd love to secure the kill onto Dolphin before he hits that 6 mark. It's like Mercy instead, just going to go ahead and try to take out those wards. We'll find the Observer as well on the high ground. Be very happy with that, I'm sure. Meanwhile, top lane, CSJ has been caught out by Gorgor. They do get a bit of a trade, but it's certainly in the favor of LBZS so far. And Fonte looks like he's going to be just fine to walk out of there. In fact, walking back in for a creep wave as well. And, well, for Cloud, it kind of goes back to the draft. Like, you are looking to drag this out as late as humanly possible. You might have a decent mid-game timing, but if anyone gets caught out in this laning stage, apart from the supports, nobody else can help. Like, you don't have a mid hero that can jump in and try to rotate. And even with the Tusk Sapphire, like, they're trying right now, but it looks like Mercy is just set to die. So Requiem does fly out defensively. CSJ is still caught by Gorgor, but there is 3 heroes up the top lane. They will at least find a +5 clockwork, but here comes Helios. He wants to try and trade something for their trouble, and they're going to end up finding Mercy. Though a decent snowball and shards being thrown out, Fonte could be in a spot of danger as he's dropping very low. They get the Tusk, but it's not worth it for LBZS. CSJ on a double. He'll pick up a triple. Tip him for what? What are they tipping CSJ for in this game, John? This guy's a monster.
I'm not sure, but I want to know why as well. I mean, he's done a great job. His lanes have all been topsy-turvy towards the series. This lane is probably the best, going at the 3-2-2 scoreline right now. Feeling good. You know, they're playing around this Viper lane quite well. They're allowed to actually leave Butterfly Effect alone. Like, he's just not dying. His kill threat there just doesn't come out, although...
Yeah, Ice Limit, he's popped the battle trance really forced to as he tries to go after TZY with this, but this is where I hate this hero. Like, you just get kited. Mid lane, it's like they are not going to be able to catch out the Void Spirit. He's going to be just fine to back off. The Troll Warlord, like, you kind of see part of the problem with the hero. It lanes decently, and then you press R later on, and it kind of does nothing.
Yeah, it's a very awkward spell to use, unfortunately. It just leads you to your demise if your enemy plays right and just kites you around. And they do manage to do that in LBZS, finding some punishment around the map. The lead of Cloud isn't that massive either. We are seeing Ice Limit just rotate top for a little bit of a shove. As LBZS are rotating mid, they finally realize they've got to do something about Butterfly Effect.
I mean, he was really the only, the big target to catch out mid lane, and he is just gone. Goes back to the fact that you do have a Void Spirit, you've got a Clockwork, you've got a Rubik, you've got a Marcy. Everyone can jump the sniper. And that'll be Butterfly Effect gone. in the favor, of course, of LBZS. So there is still a 1k advantage the way of Cloud, but that is mostly just on their Viper CSJ. You know what, John? While we're here, how would you improve Battle Trance as a spell? If you had to improve it, what would you do?
I'm not even sure at this point. I think making it so that you can control the hero in this kind of spell state is maybe a bit too strong. Then again, I think you still have the same issues even if you just remove the chase aspect of it. So maybe just removing the chase aspect would be it. Honestly, that sounds like a fair enough tweak to try out. You
Should we
could
just
still
go back to
get
the
Heaven's
old
Halberd
spell?
and do nothing. Yeah,
Just do the old
like,
global attack speed spell. That was fun.
That was fun.
Clockwork.
Maybe a bit too busted with pushing.
Yeah, Gore not having too much fun. We'll go down to the kisses coming out from Starif, though to be absolutely fair, the kisses maybe just used to zone. Doesn't feel like they really needed the damage output. Just wanted to make sure nobody tried to jump in and save the Clockwork, and well, nevertheless, they're going to try and trade towers. Of course, bottom tower going down to LBZS. Problem is, Cloud, they are forcing in the mid-tier 1 tower, and of course that tower is much more valuable for any team, really, especially if you are requiring some space. But the thing is, you've got Helios there with the Fade Bolt, and that's going to do enough to just pull the creep wave over. It seems like Cloud, they're just not confident with their own ability to try and push this. As top lane now, Chase is on for Ice Limit. He does have Battle Trance available. Question is, can he actually fight TZY? TZY will get the dispose off. There's your Battle Trance into the ensnare, but Helios is right behind to help out. A nice lift back onto Starif, and in comes Dolphin. They will just destroy this troll wall, and now the double rebound. TZY, though, he's still going to drop. Dolphin, he's got a step charge. He should be just fine. Snowball is on. Dolphin will jump away. The chase is going, however. Shards will block him in. Dolphin, he's not running around the shards. He's just waiting, and it's going to be enough. He's okay. Suppose he always knew he was going to be okay. Scared me for a moment, though, I'll tell you, John.
He escaped, barely. They do find that kill in Ice Limit, but they're starting to bleed out kills towards Butterfly Effect and CSJ now, when they are jumping up top here. And out of all the heroes to get early farm, it does feel like these are the two heroes for Cloud that will have more early impact in comparison to the Troll. So overall, I don't think you mind on Cloud losing Ice Limit like that. Yes, he's the Troll, he's technically your pause 1, but he will be farming for like a good 15 minutes anyway. So you might as well give it to these earlier scaling cores who have some pretty nice power spikes that just come from their levels in that Viper, in that Sniper here, and just let them take control early on. For LBZS though, I mean, they've got the hook shot up in Guo. It's much easier to just connect all of that mobility onto one hero now. They're playing fairly forward with Guo right now as well.
Oh, mercy. Unfortunate timing. Gore drops the Sentry Ward, sees the Invis task, but it may not matter. They have the backup. They found the Void Spirit, and that's Dolphin gone. CSJ, a double kill to come out on the Viper. Happy days for him. You know what? You might just forget the Sniper Troll here, John. It might be all on CSJ's back.
I mean, he's doing his job well. Yeah, I don't think it's on his back, but he's certainly playing around a time where you'd expect at least one of these cores to play tempo for you. He's all over the map. He's got max poison attack, corrosive skin. He doesn't need a Nether Toxin in this game. And that means you don't have the Nether Toxin to steal from Helios. That also means, though, it's relatively easy to steal Viper Strike. But that is still a big ult, a decent enough ult to dish out in the middle of these fights as well for Helios if he does find the angle. But the defense is a bit shaky. They still have their spells here, though.
Hook shot in. Cogs are there. Looks like the Tusk is gone. Sucker punch there from Helios. It's Butterfly Effect now being caught out by TZY. Just absolutely melting. The only saving grace is CSJ. Does at least find one. It doesn't seem like they'll find a second, though. They will do at least get Gore. But Starif has no way out of this one. He will go down. A triple kill for Helios on the Rubik. And I believe there was a Reddit meme recently about kill secures and Rubik, Jonathan. Fadebolt does come in and does work out the same way they described it.
Yeah, no, the ultimate kill steal tech with Rubik does require some like an axe in the enemy team or a Necrophos. That's the ultimate kill steal tech. Not quite here, but it's still happening. It's lining up with what Reddit says, which is, I suppose, a good bit of news for Reddit. Fonte, just farming up here. He's been allowed so much space in this SF. Like, he has just not been contested. He hasn't had to join these fights either. He's starting to scale in a very big way on that SF, going for the BKB next. With a BKB up, you basically don't care too much about what Cloud has at all. At least CSJ finds a double damage rune right now. That mid is still holding. They just need a little bit of a brush of air to get that done, and CSJ should be able to find it. He's playing relatively safe as everyone else is clumped top.
Mercy gonna get lifted. Helios would go for the Walrus Punch, does do so. TZY even joining in. LBZS able to pick up a quick kill on Mercy. You're getting to that point now where Fonte maybe just getting a little bit too big on the SF. Meanwhile, CSJ gonna find Helios, has the Viper Strike, so he should die and will. TZY is gonna try and TP out. He might die in the fountain, but no, he's okay. Even pops a sidekick, but has nothing to hit. Just uses it. Meanwhile, top lane, they do end up losing Gorgor, but guess what, John? Battle Trance wears off, and that means Ice Limit will die.
Yeah. Still one of those things with the troll, if there's more than one hero chasing you down, you pop your ult, you're not going to run for multiple heroes. Fonte is still sticking around. There is a TP point here for Cloud, but they're not really opting to punish fully, and he does bail out in the nick of time. Inside of Cloud, they're sacrificing some course. Yes, Ice Limit's still copping the short end of things, but Butterfly Effect's farmed up. He's got his Mask of Madness going into the Dragonlance. The question is, can Butterfly Effect position himself properly in these fights because of the threat of Void Spirit, Marcy, Clockwork, and Rubik lift back? It's a pretty hard game to feel super secure, but if Butterfly Effect can, then he can be that win condition. Besides the troll, like the sniper can certainly carry through this game. It just gets harder as this game goes on. Like the answers are coming out from LBZS.
Mercy. Hookshot, way off the mark from Gorgor, trying to chase down Butterfly Effect. They will at least get a Tusk for their trouble. Not exactly the kill they wanted, as they did try hard to avoid Mercy altogether. TZY though, he'll take what he gets. That'll be about it. They've used too many spells here, so LBZS, they'll back their way out of this one. Allows Helios to pick up the mech now, so a bit more sustain for the rest of the team. Yeah, Cloud, I mean, you did say that they are still in the game. I mean, they are still farming decently. It's just a matter of, are they going to be able to deal with Fonte later? And Fonte, you get to a stage where you have a BKB up, and it's like, what do you do about him? CSJ, meanwhile, feeling like he needs to just do things himself, goes mid lane with the Viper Strike, but Helios had the snowball. Meanwhile, Mercy found TZY, Dispose is there, but with the tag team out, and Butterfly Effect right behind with the Mask of Madness, you cannot survive the damage output.
No, it's overwhelming. Like, that's the one big thing with the Tusk here. Tag team does benefit all cores quite nicely, so when you do manage to get a connection with Mercy on with anyone, it's relatively easy to do. I don't know. They've got something out for CSJ. Again, it's the curse of the XSJ names, Mike. We see it with BSJ. We're seeing it on CSJ. I'm wondering if there's an ASJ who's getting cursed as well.
Well, there's FartSJ as well right now, FSJ. It's, you know, that's a thing right now in NA Division 2, by the way, John. Helios. Rebound, TZY, he'll set up perfectly onto the Viper. CSJ, I mean, he is very far forward. Like, he's a tanky boy and he might feel confident to be able to fight back, but he's completely alone. And his team, they are trying to make their way there, and you might at least find Gorgor, but that seems like it's going to be about it. In fact, now Dolphin thinking about jumping in again won't do so. Not yet anyway, but he's thinking about it. He's waiting. He'll see Butterfly Effect in the mid lane and does try, but the snowball is going to buy a bit of time for Butterfly with the cookie out. He will be just fine, and now he can turn and try to fight this one out, but there's just no one to frontline for him. It's kind of the thing, like if the Tusk dies and if CSJ's not there, there's no one to distract the team so he can just hit away on this sniper.
Yeah, they have no body to throw forward. I think that's what Ice Limit's going for. He is going for a BKB into the Basher. So he could be the body that stands forward with a BKB up and running. You still have to worry about probably just a hook shot, but they are saving that for Butterfly Effect more than anything else. So there will be room for the Troll to get that spacing out for the Sniper. I think my biggest concern is still just how much Fonte's allowed to farm. Like, this SF is so massive. BKB up, hold the Dragonlance and Mask of Madness. He's got that good mix of physical and magical burst on hand. And he's a good, solid 3k lead ahead of any of the next few cores. So an investment for LBZS is lining up well. And for Cloud, it still is a slower game. They are going into Roshan now, though. Could be a bit sneaky here.
We'll see what happens. I mean, they're going to sacrifice a bottom tier 2 tower for this, but I suppose Roshan might be well worth it, considering the state of the game. Cloud, they need something to go their way, and it seems like Roshan will indeed go their way, as the rocket flare was a bit too late. I believe they did have a scan out, so they kind of had an idea of what was going on, but just couldn't get there in time. And so T2 tower for Roshan seems like it favors Cloud, at least for now. If they can use this Aegis to their advantage, it will. Question is, can they? Like, they are still behind in farm when you compare the cores to Fonte, though I would dare say the cores of Cloud are more kind of even in terms of their own net worth. So we'll see if the distribution of wealth in Cloud is going to matter. It's top lane, they have seen TZY. Scan will still catch him, so Ice Limit going for a bit of a chase, but eventually he will run out of the scan range. And it seems like they believe that he's TP'd out on the Marcy.
Yeah, they're not going to fully commit. They don't really have the best vision in the area. They don't really have an idea as to where LBZS is playing. You don't want to overextend too far and get caught off guard by a counter smoke on LBZS's end. For LBZS's part, they're playing nicely in that bot jungle. With that tier 2 gone, they've got pretty good control in the area to just keep farming up, get the timings they want, especially on Dolphin. He is going straight up for an E-Blade now. So that's even more magical burst. It's a way to disarm something like the troll until the BKB's up. That can be fairly annoying for these physical cores to have to deal with that ethereal form on themselves or on the enemy. And just makes it a lot tougher until you build some solutions up. Again, the BKBs are going to be key here.
That is the thing, you've only really got one right now, and that's on the troll. He literally just picked it up. Currently CSJ queuing up a blink. Butterfly Effect wants the shards before BKB, so it's going to take quite a while, and now a 5-man smoke up. They know CSJ's up at that top lane, and they tip him for a reason. It seems like they want to make their way over, see if they can snipe that Viper and maybe push for a bit more aggression. CSJ, knowing something is awry, will TP up back towards his team, and it could be a big team fight to break out around that Radiant Triangle. LBZS, they'll have their smoke broken. They'll see the Viper. CSJ might be baiting for his team, though. He'll take the brunt of the hook shot. Gore, he is just going to drop. Eventually, I mean. The CSJ, he'll even find Helios on the Rubik. Snowball will cancel the TP off. And Mercy will secure the kill himself. Nice little play there from CSJ to just kind of bait them into that high ground area. And, well, obviously just kind of standing on that triangle was Cloud, and they just get away with it.
And they got a really good read on what LBZS wanted to do. They regroup and get the punishment off. And they don't find the biggest kills, to be fair. It's 2 supports. It's not the biggest deal for LBZS to lose. This might be bigger if TZY falls.
Rebound away. He's still very slowed up, so the chase can continue. CSJ, he'll get 4-star forward. LBZS able to outrun them. Shards actually is on the mark. TZY's trapped up. They know he's there, but Fonte's going to move back in for a rebound. Make sure he gives TZY an exit here, and does do so. He's okay. Another big group up. 5-on-5 situation. Jump in is there. Dolphin, he'll make the jump onto Mercy, already bursting down the tusk. CSJ gonna try and jump back in, but is just gonna get surrounded here on the Viper. And he's still going after TZY, so maybe he gets something for his trouble. TZY will drop. The kiss is still ongoing. In they go onto Fonte, but realizing they are forced to back off. Ice Limit using the BKB on the troll. Just doesn't want to fight any longer. Butterfly Effect though may get caught. Starif will cook him away. You still have the Aegis up on the sniper. Starif still trying. Might go into Gore instead. Maybe pick up the clockwork kill, and they will, but the chase is ongoing. Butterfly Effect still running. It seems like LBZS, they'll leave it at that. Was a 2-for-2 trade in the end, I believe, and for Cloud, they still hold on for the Aegis for another 50 seconds or so.
And they're not able to really take any big objectives off the back of that, which is maybe a bit of concern. It is the first Aegis, so you're more than likely happy to just farm with it here. Try to build up and hit some more item spikes before forcing a really big issue. LBZS, that's a pretty awkward fight. Missed hook shot to cancel off the kisses. The fact that CSJ is tanky enough to still spam out his spell. It's got a good Hurricane Pike use onto TZY to melt down the Marcy early on as well. They did find a right target in LBZS. Like, you have to take out Mercy. If you take out the Tusk, you literally have no one that can playmake here. Although, speaking of...
Yeah, Helios gonna get caught out here by Mercy. will drop. Dolphin going to try and trade something. Meanwhile, top lane, they've got CSJ, and that's a big target. They've got the Viper down. CSJ just been playing very far forward the whole game. He's going to get caught out once again here, and Fonte will happily take his life away. You're at that stage where the SF hits like a truck. Though I say that, he may get caught here. Mercy's moving in. Tag team activated, doesn't get the Walrus Punch, but does get the shards off. They've lost Gore. Mercy is still trying to just run away from Fonte. Fonte manning up with the BKB, but with the Battle Trance popped, he should fall, and he will. So CSJ, I said he was playing far forward, John, but he allows his team to come in and clean up.
Yeah, he's creating opportunities by acting this forward bait. And he's attracting attention, he's forcing cores to come in to commit onto him, which leads to Cloud having the angle back in there and get that punishment going for themselves. I mean, you still have this solid lead for LBZS, to be fair. It's 3k up, Fonte's still ahead by a good margin, but it doesn't feel like that margin is big enough. It is one major item up at almost 3k above. But you are still dealing with rather equally farmed cores outside of CSJ, who start to drop off a bit. But the distribution between Butterfly Effect and Ice Limit is still pretty good. So you're scaling well, and they find TZY.
Yeah,
with
TZY
Mercy once more, just
way past the tier 2 tower that was once there, just going down very early. Or very quickly, rather, as... Yeah, I mean, Cloud, they're still in the game here. Just 1k advantage to LBZS, who have been kind of all over the place. All their eggs currently in the SF basket. We'll see if it pays off for them, because, well, Fonte, like, we've seen him bleed, and we know he can die. Like, he literally just died at top lane. Fonte, currently being watched here by Cloud, but gonna be left alone for now. Gore may be targeted, though. Mercy, he finds Dolphin on that Void Spirit. Snowball gonna roll right through, but instead, they'll take the Clockwork. A CSJ, he'll find Fonte. That's a massive target if they could catch him. Shrapnel, not going to be on the mark. Shards are exactly on the mark, but they're not looking to dive the tier 2. Butterfly Effect already went back to farm the triangle instead. Had you found the SF, it would have been huge, but it seems like they'll just take the safe farm in the triangle, deny that gold away from the SF later on.
Yeah, and there was a massive set of stacks built up. Maybe just a couple of double stacks, actually, but still more than enough to drag them away. Which I guess, you know, Fonte's going to be hurting about not having that. At the same time, he's not dead. So you got to count your blessings there. Dolphin, just watching her. He's spotted by Shrapnel.
He certainly is. Dolphin, he has two-step charges. That's the thing. Like, you could throw the shards down into the corner, but it's already on cooldown. Dolphin, going to be just okay to TP out there. No problems.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And LBZS, now the ones behind in net worth. Just less than 1k. But it is certainly a concerning sign.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It is. And you're again, dealing with two cores that do scale relatively great here.
Oh, here comes TZY trying to save the day for Gore. They might save the Clockwork. In fact, he goes in again with the hook shot, so Gore setting up another hit for TZY, and in comes Dolphin, holding down the Troll Warlord, forcing the BKB usage. He just got the Battle Trance off cooldown. He'll pop it just in the nick of time. TZY now caught out. They might have another, and they do. A triple kill for Ice Limit. A CSJ, he can move on to Fonte, but the Requiem, oh, Mercy. Mercy just gets blown up. Butterfly Effect gonna try and move in and help CSJ. Fonte, he's gone too far. He has gone way too far. Fonte's gonna get punished. Dolphin will trade and may not even find Viper. CSJ's alright. It's a full team wipe for Cloud as Mercy will tip Fonte. Oh, my. What have LBZS done this time?
That is a really disjointed fight.
Translator, please. And we need a translator.
Yeah, it's oh man.
Someone in the chat's gonna read this.
Yeah, nah. It's oh my, it's something about assault vehicle and an expletive. You fit me perfectly right on top. So they're just talking about that little snowball play with a Requiem. Yeah, assault vehicle and an expletive, and yeah, you're just getting very passionate. I guess he found that really entertaining with the snowball channel. So for LBZS, these fights are a bit disjointed. Oh,
speaking of disjointed here, John, TZY. He's going to BKB, try to armlet toggle. Doesn't have a TP available, so they just need some vision.
Oh,
he's going to jump
turning.
back in with the sidekick, with the unleash. Maybe he can do it, but no, the knockback is there. Ice Limit was behind just in case. So state of the game now, Jonathan. 2K advantage to Cloud. 29.5 minutes in, and you know, for all the crap we gave the draft of Cloud Gaming, you have hit the time now where this draft is going to look scary.
Is under attack.
Yeah, and again, even going back to that draft, like in the laning phase, they didn't get curb stomped, which is pretty much their condition for the laning stage. Just don't get stomped. You don't necessarily need to win, but just sustain that lane evenly, and they stomp on top with CSJ. They get a decent time for Ice Limit. They're smoked up. They're feeling aggressive. Got the blinks here.
He's so far forward. The SF. He's going to get lifted. He will be saved by his Rubik. Helios, the man of the hour. He'll run. Roshan's up, don't forget, John. This team fight could mean Roshan by either side as hookshot in the backside. It's caught two of them. But Gorgor, he's going to give his life away for that. Still dropping Mercy. And Ice Limit very, very low. But that'll be about it. A 1-for-1. Both supports. They'll both back off here on either side, but never mind. A 4-man smoke up now from LBZS. Roshan is available. So important for LBZS to try and secure. CSJ, he'll break the smoke, run to the low ground. Mercy instead the one to get jumped. Will go down. Dolphin, that's a lot of damage he takes. But he's okay. Instead, they'll make the jump in onto CSJ. And CSJ, well, he's going to have to try and force stuff out of here towards the tier 2 tower. Maybe he can bait them too far forward because TZY is still going. But no, never mind. They've got the damage. Assassinate will not do enough, I don't think, to TZY. And he cancels it anyway. So Roshan should theoretically be open for LBZS, but it still seems like they're not confident.
It's not the safest, knowing that respawn on Tusk isn't too far away. There's Kisses that's ready to go from Starif as well. And you did have to pop a couple of BKBs to get these chases going. So the counterfight from Cloud should line up for them with their BKBs coming off cooldown. So they opt to play it safe. There's still a lot of bite in Cloud. So does LBZS. They've got a lot of punch left in them here. Blink up on Fonte now as well. Going for the Arcane. He's going to have that instant cast Requiem, which honestly I like seeing him here. You know, it's more control to go their way. For some reason we saw a dust fly out from Cloud, but they do get the smoke eventually. And they will run into that Roche first, but probably hunt for a pick off. And they don't have the vision, but Fonte's a big one.
Oh, he is a big one. He's got a silver edge up, but it may not matter if he gets caught, though he does pop it, but they have a sentry. Oh, it's a huge kill. Cloud, they're going to be so happy about that, because now Roshan's available. Second Roshan of the game, of course, going to have the shards and Aegis up. Who do you give the shards over to this game? Like, who deserves it?
I'd say, honestly, the Snapfire shard is pretty damn good. Actually, you should just give it to CSJ. Like, yeah, have something more for your push.
Oh, hook shot. It's there, but Gorko. I mean, I believe he got the shards out of that. He did. Did he? I'm pretty sure I saw an item picked up.
Probably the shards. It did get consumed,
The Aegis.
so...
Yeah. Aegis was on
Yeah,
bottom
not
5 pack. Shards was taken. Bottom side. CSJ. Dolphin. Being caught out. Rebound is there. CSJ still looking to try and fight. He's a
That
tanky
Albert.
boy in this Viper. Will force stuff away. Mercy still trying to fight. Just trying to run. In fact, TZY able to secure the kill. But Butterfly Effect's here now. They're going to jump in again. Blink forward from CSJ. Butterfly Effect. Continuing the chase. And in goes Ice Limit. He found TZY with a lucky bash, but a nice lift away here from Helios. It's going to ensure that TZY survives. And with that, I mean, they find nothing for their trouble.
Yeah, they do back off. I mean, they find a pick off on Mercy, which is not the worst thing in the world. Still not the biggest kill either. You're still playing around with the edge. You're at the point now where Butterfly Effect is #1 in that fort. And a core-to-core matchup against the SF, it's very conditional. Like, you have to play with that Arcane Blink here.
Using that new shards he just picked up from the Roshan pit, we'll be able to get away with the jetpack. Butterfly Effect moving in. Jump in from Dolphin, but the Aether Remnant not going to land. But now your Sniper's highest net worth on the map. Like, Butterfly Effect, he's having a grand old time.
Yep. he's been allowed to really do what he wants here. Again, theoretically, you have a lot of answers for the sniper to jump on top of him, but they've been jumping elsewhere.
He's okay. He'll just assimilate out of there. No problems. Got the He'll just move in now with his team. Wrap around through the Radiant Triangle for LBZS.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Big wraparound. In fact, back into that dire jungle they go, but they're underneath the vision of the Radiant here. It's not the place to fight, I don't think, here for LBZS. They're going to have the vision disadvantage. Hook shots off the mark here from Gore. Looks like TZY is still in a lot of danger because he is just getting annihilated by Iceland, and now the snowball. It's going to juke out the Requiem. No fear to come out. Helios might disrupt. Who have they got? They are trying onto CSJ, but he just survives. Oh boy, 3 down for LBZS. I can't believe this draft's gonna work. Oh,
Hey,
I can't believe
You know,
it.
hey, I said it. They're throwing it back to 6.82 or 6.83, I forgot which. But Troll, Sniper. I mean, the lanes, again, for Cloud, it didn't go as bad as you'd expect. Like, Butterfly Effect pretty much won mid as well for a long time. And that's a concern. When it did come in, when they hit their level 6s, they were finding some pickoffs, but they weren't punishing Butterfly Effect big enough, and Iceland was getting decent space to farm up in. And, well, you're in this awkward position now for LBZS on the defense. This lineup pushes extremely hard. Have to say, CSJ deserves a lot of praise as well for his Heaven's Halberd pickup.
Yeah.
He's been very
Yeah.
effective in using it, and he's been very, very on point with just disarming TZY when he jumps in. It just throws off that start for LBZS in these fights.
Mercy at least gets taken down. They found a Tusk for their trouble. Of course, they have lost the racks for this, but it's about all they can hope to do right now. No way they defend that top racks. 5k advantage the way of Cloud, though. LBZS not out of this series yet. However, Gore gonna get caught out. TZY still trying to run in. And look at the damage. He just can't get out of there. Still trying. Will rebound out eventually. In they go, Fonte. He'll try to start a fight, but CSJ still just running. Ogresil Totem saves the day. Oh my. Like, sure, you only lose the clock, but he's gonna buy back for this, and so far it's amounted to nothing. TZY, he's still looking around, but he's not within range for dispose. LBZS desperately trying to claw their way back into this game number 2, but I mean, it just seems like they're running out of options.
Yeah, it's a toughie right now for LBZS. They're running out of play. It's so weird to say that when they have so many playmakers on their side, but it doesn't feel like the opportunities are just presenting themselves smoothly. They've got 2 big cores to worry about in the Troll and Sniper, and most of their control is single target. Like, when you make that jump in, you have to consider, do you want the Troll, do you want the Sniper at this point? And even then, sometimes these spells just don't connect. We've seen some hook shots that could have made a difference from Guo just not be on their intended target. If you don't take care of Mercy first, his snowballs have been massive in saving them from that Requiem control that LBZS is kind of banking on for AoE. And Cloud will just smoke off. Aegis is gone, but they could still play here.
Absolutely. Cloud. Mercy at the very least frontlining for his team. Helios going to get caught immediately by Mercy, though he is still alone, but his team is going to catch up very soon as Gore does save the day, but in comes Ice Limit. Onto the clockwork he goes. Meanwhile, Fonte going to take down Mercy. Ice Limit still hoping for a bash, finally finds one and does take him out, but now he's in trouble. He'll BKB up. Helios going down, just TPing away is going to be alright. It ends up being a 1-for-1. This time Mercy buying back on the Tusk for no reason. Hoping to get into the team fight in the nick of time, but nowhere near it. Though I say that, TZY is going to get spotted out here by the Tusk, but neither one wants to jump in. It's going to be all about that mid-tier 2 tower now, it seems.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, they've got really quick push on the side of Cloud. Like, this does not take too long at all to threaten onto
Jump
high
in.
ground. Although,
They have found Dolphin. Aeon is going to save LBZS. They're all right for now, but back to the base it is for them. Cloud just feeling so much more confident. Jump in. Helios, he's there. Rubik is just gone. Maybe they can trade Mercy's life for this, but oh, Dolphin! Same spot. Feeling a little bit frisky. Keep in mind, Butterfly Effect now has the full Skadi up, so that slow can be very annoying to play against. Especially when it's a sniper hitting you.
Is under attack. Dire's
Here we go.
structures are fortified.
Helios
It's
down.
not just a slow, like, with all the stats you have in Butterfly Effect, all the stats in World, you can't just jump him and burst him anymore. Like, all this control for the sniper with this kind of draft, you've reached a point where you just can't. His team's around him, and it's just too durable to really burst.
At least they're being a little bit annoying here with the Aether Remnants from Dolphin, just kind of making sure they can't make a big dive in, but Butterfly Effect kind of just avoiding them altogether. Hookshot is there. God setting up, but a nice snowball. Mercy is going to save once again. They have got the BKB off of the sniper, and now they can jump in. Gore is gone. TZY is gone. Butterfly Effect wanting to go right to work onto Dolphin as he has one step charge to get out of this, but he gets Yule's up. Can they lock him down? It may seem like they can. Dolphin, Aeon Disc, dissimulate onto the high ground, but they've still got the vision. The Assassinate was still going, but Mercy's the only one to jump in. The rest of the team just ran. As soon as they saw the buyback from TZY, they didn't want to be there any longer. And that was it. They still give a bit away here, Cloud.
Yeah. They bullied out where they shouldn't. Mercy just kind of, you know, that buyback again haunting them. Like these buybacks in these first two games are kind of awkward, and we're seeing why. Be very careful with your buybacks, kids, when you do play in your games. LBZS, they are stalling for time. They do manage to hold on just a little bit longer. I mean, they've lost top racks, but again, the solutions for the sniper is still not presenting itself. You got the hook shot a while ago, but if you don't have a clear shot in Mercy, his snowball save with a blink is still there. It's so hard to give Fonte a frontline here that just tanks for him as well. They'll try.
CSJ is the target. CSJ dropping quite quickly, but the Ogre still totem again going to allow a bit of distance here on the high ground. He's surviving. The Requiem wasn't enough. Meanwhile, Butterfly Effect, he gets onto the high ground. He's going to survive. 35 HP he lives on. Still Ice Limit. Ice Limit will keep trying to go with the Battle Trance, still trying to fight this one out, but he is just trapped up by the cogs. He might just go down. LBZS are still fighting this one out. It's a 3-for-3. Starif will be the fourth. Fonte to pick up a triple. The only survivor was the sniper, who walks away on 35 HP.
Yeah, they managed to save him, but at a huge cost. And LBZS, they're finding some ways to punish. Again, these fights are so much simpler when Mercy's not around for the saves. Without that Tusk, you still have the same issue this game. You run out of playmakers. You just can't do much without that Tusk to try to set up for you. And LBZS, they're not in a position to really do anything with those kills, and unfortunately for them, or unfortunately for both sides, Roshan is not too far away here. Big objective to take.
Dolphin?
You're going to have the numbers a little bit quicker in LBZS, so you can threaten. Oh.
Going in by himself here, John. Dolphin! He's alright for now, dissimulate, and they won't have the vision for an assassinate. He's okay. He's even got a regenerate, so it looks like he was just confident he'd be fine. Just scared the crap out of me for a moment.
Yeah, it's risky, but he is stalling for time. I think he's just ensuring that no sneaky moves are made by Cloud to, say, shove out Wave, go into Roche with less numbers than you'd expect them to go for. That is still giving time for the respawn and Ice Limit, so they're going to have the numbers anyway to kind of jump into that pit. But LBZS is fully up and running as well. And they've got that Arcane Blink ready on Fonte, so he can get that quick channel Requiem, but that's a little bit tougher to respond to for Mercy to save on. Gonna have to see Fonte play on the bleeding edge and try to get that done with his refresh on hand as well here.
Here we go. Cloud again. 14 up here against LBZS. A 5v5. Fonte thinking about jumping in for a Requiem, but CSJ, he jumps in first onto Gore. There's your Requiem being used up onto the Viper. CSJ still tanky, and the Snowball not going to be there in time. He does drop right beforehand. Meanwhile, TZY makes the jump in onto Butterfly Effect, trying to find this sniper. The chase is ongoing. TZY will go after Starif instead, but he is going to drop. Butterfly Effect will take the kill, but now Ice Limit getting caught out. We'll pop the Battle Trance with the BKB. It was a little bit early though, and he's not getting lucky with the bashes. There's one out, there's the ensnares out. Dolphin's gonna go down. A 2 for 2 so far in the favor of Cloud. It seems like No Mercy jumps in again, but another Requiem. Fonte just gonna completely annihilate the Tusk, but in comes Butterfly Effect. He knows there's no more Requiems left. He wants to try and make the jump in. Helios, he'll lift himself out. In comes Ice Limit, but the hook shot, it's gonna lock him down. The Cogs push back as well from Butterfly Effect, as he will just try to run away with the concussive grenade. He is all right. But what's happening in this game? Well, what is happening?
Is under attack.
It's
Radiant's middle tower is under
it's
attack.
looking for it. You know, we're reaching that point where you're pretty farmed on the big course. You need to be farmed, so it becomes kind of ridiculous. You didn't manage to get the snowball save onto CSJ this time around for Mercy, so no Viper to kind of just pump out with the Viper Strike. By the way, he did go for stats. Like, he still has no Nether Toxin at level 23. And he knows he just doesn't want to give that out to Helios, and there's really no need for it. So it's an interesting to see. As you can see, you did get a big steal out from Helios here as well, with the kisses coming through in the middle of that fight. So there was some good punishment coming out. And again, this build from Fonte is what I like to see from the SF, right? Like, there's been such an emphasis on the right click, but Arcane Blink plus Refresh BKB, playing with a Requiem in this game, it's just so much. It's really valuable because how low the BKBs are going to be. You know you're going to have impact with the double Requiem. You know you can use the fear really well, kite these heroes around. Still, Roche being taken now by
It certainly
Cloud.
is Roshan.
They still have the kisses from Helios though, and he scouts out.
He does. And that'll be enough, it seems, to force them to back off. TZY getting caught though. On the Marcy, he is gone. All right, maybe it's time to go back for Roshan. They've got the vision on the high ground. It seems like they'll occupy the Radiant Triangle instead. Fonte, though, needs to jump in very, very soon with the Arcane Blink into the Requiem. Roshan, it's gonna go. Helios was trying to get in there for a lift up. Hookshot is there as well. They have at least taken down Starif, but Mercy is fine from the Requiem. He will survive. Meanwhile, Dolphin trying to salvage the situation on his own, but can't do it. Fonte, in the meantime, going after CSJ, but the chase is on. Ice Limit's right behind him. Fonte, he'll blink away, and seems like he might be all right, but Mercy, no, he won't find him. The SF will survive. At least they got a kill on a buyback on Sarif, so that's something. But they do lose Roshan. They even committed a buyback on their own Clockwork. And of course, TZY has died.
Yeah, they lose a lot for that trade. It's still a pretty big win for the side of Cloud. They've got a cheese on Ice Limit, so along with a Satanic and a Battle Trance, this troll's gonna be living for a very long time up front. You've got the Refresh ready for Butterfly Effect, just in case he needs a secondary BKB in the middle of these fights. And now you have that angle onto the high ground. When you are all up and running on LBZS, they can go for these def plays, and we have seen them play around that really well. Dolphins also split pushing down bot, trying to force a response, or at least a trade, to come out here with how big his creep wave is. So you have some room to get some action going, but the commitment is here from Cloud, just straight onto it.
Helios, hookshot, Fonte, he jumps in for the Requiem, but it doesn't seem like he's got quite enough. He's got to run out of there as the SF. The TP's incoming from the Void Spirit. Fonte still alive, but no, the sniper's got him. Butterfly Effect takes him down, but now Butterfly, he needs to get away from TZY, getting thrown all across the mid lane. He is going to survive. Oh, just barely. He won't lose the Aegis as CSJ back in. We'll get sucker punched here by our Rubik. Keep in mind as well, like, never mind. I was about to say the Refresher Shard was still up for Ice Limit, but it is gone now. Instead, Midrax does go down. Dolphin still trying to defend with this double damage rune. Aeon Disc is going to proc. CSJ looking for his own way out now. Does get remnanted up, but Butterfly Effect's right behind him to try and save as Dolphin makes the jump in, and now the cheese will be eaten. CSJ is alive. That'll force the buyback out from Dolphin, because Dolphin does drop for that. Tier 4 towers under siege here from Cloud. Helios gonna make a bit of a jump in, trying to slow this down. Another Aether Remnant as well onto the sniper. But how do you close the gap against this guy? He's still got a secondary life. They'll dispose him with TZY. Butterfly Effect, he'll pop his BKB. He'll be okay for now, but the Walrus Punch, it is there once again. They'll dust him up. Concussive shot. He's still alive. Still fighting back. Butterfly Effect. Does he actually die here? He finally goes down, but that's only the first life. Dolphin's been caught out again. He gets to stand up, but no, he's going to be all right. Instead, Helios. Helios is the target on the Rubik. He'll get assassinated, but he'll buy back. One tier 4 tower left standing. Have they got enough to keep going for this Ancient? Dolphin cannot afford to die. We'll be okay. Fontaine, in the meantime, does jump in for a Requiem. It connects onto the Sniper, but he's all right out of range. In goes Ice Limit, still trying to fight, looking for the dieback on the SF. They might just have it, and they do. The SF is gone. CSJ might just drop. A Butterfly Effect is getting right to work, and Dolphin's gone. This game should be over. Cloud look like they've done it against LBZS. GG is called. They've had enough. Cloud have taken an unexpected 2-0 victory, I would argue, here against LBZS. And against what we and the panel said, Jonathan,